You know something, YouTube? We're really going to have a quick talk right now, and I'm going to make it really, really quick. Welcome to the Bobby Brown Show on the Geo. Let's get into it. Standing on the top now. No, nothing can move you. Well, good evening. It is a late Bobby Brown Show. I'm not going to be long. They're messing with my latency and everything. So it's going to look like I'm on a Chinese movie or Asian movie, Kung Fu movie. My word's going to be off, as you can see right here. Anyway, I'm just going to get right into it. Okay. Now you know me. Some of you don't know me. I'm black. Can't deny it. My grandfather's slave descendant who married a woman who was a slave descendant and Native American. That's how I was in Florida. A lot of Native Americans in black community kind of nestled up together. Some of them put us in slavery and some of them were hard just as much as majority of white society in the South, but there were some slaves. There were some natives that went through the same thing that we went through because a lot of them was dark skinned. The only reason you can really tell the difference is some of them hair was a little more coarse than the other. But at the end of the day, a lot of Indians were, a lot of native was considered black. And then they had this one drop rule. That's not my point. My point is, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I did go beyond high school, did get some college credits, dropped out, had a baby on the way, bada boom, bada bang. There's a difference between common sense and what you call ultra intellectual. An ultra intellectual is a person who's so smart his brain's fried. He can't even recognize common sense. He got to confuse everything. Now, to you who may not be black, who may not go on through what our ancestors went through, who may not care about the fact that this country was built on the blood, sweat, and tears, murder, genocide of black people, and they got massive wealth as a result of it, and this became the most wealthiest country in the world as a result of it, and how we, as black people, we even made it easier for other people to come into this country, and when they came into this country, they got more stuff allowed to them than we did. Don't get me wrong. There was a time when Polish people came here and the white society here in the United States did not like those Polish people. Italians came, they went through a little heat. But as these people started coming in from Europe, the common ground was, you're not dark skinned, you're not black. And a lot of times people came into this country and was afforded or allotted benefits that we couldn't get. They was allowed to buy land, property, and everything we couldn't get. They sent these people over here to help settle the land. They wouldn't send black people over here to help settle the land. They sent black people here to help till the land. And as a result of it, this country became very, very freaking stinking rich. And then you got some numbnut who need to be in the back of the school bus. Heck no, you need to be on the school bus. Gonna sit here and tell me. I'm going to sit here and tell you, look, I'm not going to tolerate that crap on this channel. You'll be kicked off. I appreciate you tuning in, but there's certain things that are non-negotiable. There's some things that ain't got nothing to do with progressive. And some things that black people are going to start doing from a position of strength, not political strength. It's going to be a position of, what can I call it? Power. See, we understand one thing, and this is the reason why I made that mention about the Nina Turner race. If you go a majority of the states in this country, the number one voting bloc is black people, which means you win an election or lose election based on that number one. I'm not saying we're the overall, because some dummy act like I said that black people are the only people, and I probably said that by mistake, but I realize that there's other people that's involved with voting and helping people get in, but it's not to the extent as we do. Man, we vote in the high 80s and 90s. We pick up grandma and everybody. And we got to put you on a green machine and doom buggy to get you to the polling place. We do. The problem is we're doing it from a position of siding with folks versus outsiding with folks, showing our dominance, making those two sides bend the knee to us. It's amazing. Tammy Duckworth and a few Asians got together, decided we're not supporting either one of you. I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. I'm not going to support. No, I'm not kissing nobody's boots until you put some position of power in my community. I'm not giving you a doggone thing. Once you do it, then we'll talk. And black people got to learn from that. And black people are learning from that. So when it comes to things like reparation, it's non-negotiable. Put something up, let y'all read something. I'm going to deal with this one time, and hopefully you guys, when you see this stuff, you nip it in the bud, because I ain't got time for it. All right, I did a talk about Nina Turner may lose the race because of this. And I mentioned that she already had the progressives in the bag. I doubt if progressives are going to actually allow a person who says she's going to sell out, can't wait to sell out, looking forward to selling out. I don't think progressives are going to allow that person to get in office. If progressives in Ohio is going to vote, they would vote for Nina Turner, hands down, because Nina Turner, I mean, whether she's selling out or whether she's part of the fraud squad, or you believe she's going to be a part of the fraud squad, or whatever you believe, that's your own belief. But you know doggone well Shontel Brown she's going to be worse than the fraud squad. She's born a fraud. No, let me stop. She wasn't born a fraud. Let me stop. So here's some comments up here, and I appreciate everybody commenting up here. But this is the one I want you to see right here. Yeah, bro, when you come with that BS, I'm going to call you out and put you on here. And then I'm going to delete you, and you'll never be able to comment on here again. This is from Ad Sucks. Ad Sucks say Jim Clyburn is doing more than the GOP to suppress the vote. Bro, we already know that. The GOP and the Democrat have their way of suppressing the vote of the people. They always had their way. People get kicked off the road. The left or the DNC would not do anything they can to get them back on the roll. And that was the whole thing with Stacey Abrams. And look, what did she get out of busting her behind trying to get people back on the roll using Bloomberg money, a bigot money, caping for a bigot Joe Biden using Bloomberg money just to poke shots at bigot Trump. This black woman in the middle of bigot Trump using bigot Bloomberg money to fight against bigot Trump and bigot Biden. And look what she got. A Nobel Peace Prize nomination. That's great, Robert. She got nominated. So did Trump. So did Jared Kushner. He got a bigot in his ultra elite, wealthy brat son. He got nominated for the Peace Prize. So yeah, Jim Clyburn is doing whatever he can. Jim Clyburn is going to do what Jim Clyburn do, because Jim Clyburn is part of the Democratic Get Along gang. Jim Clyburn is part of, is what you call white people's black people. In other words, as long as he don't shake things up, as long as he don't cause no problem with us, that's our boy. Yeah, John Lewis is gone now. They need somebody to pat on the head like that little dude on the Benny Hill show. And James Clyburn is the Democratic patting head boy. So is Bernie Sanders. Joe Biden patting him on the head and he eating it up. It's my good friend Joe. He's my good friend. Familiarity paralyzes you when it's time to do something. That's why I'm not trying to be buddy with these politicians, trying to get all emotional involved. I see the interview that Crystal did with Bernie Sanders, and that familiarity got her to do some kind of hardball questions, but yet there was no follow up and no, because of that relationship, that love, that admiration. That stuff getting in the way of you needing to push what you need to push. Can't do that. Love and admiration for a politician. Jim Clyburn is doing more than the GOP to suppress the vote. Bruh. What's the point of voting when the Ohio race? What's the point of voting when, as the Ohio race shows, both parties are so thoroughly dominated by corporate interests? Now, I responded to this saying, it doesn't matter how much money they put in the campaign. At the end of the day, he who can convince the voter that they're there to fight for them and do whatever they can to get them to the poll, they win. All that money, what's his name, in the Democratic Party, pumped into, what's his name, Elian Ingalls campaign against Jamal Bowman. It didn't work because Jamal Bowman them had a campaign of hitting the pavement, hitting the streets, making a phone call, knocking on the door. I don't know how many times they came knocking on this door. And you know me, I put that, bruh. At the end of the day, if you ain't black first and progressive second, I ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't have time with P1. It's B1 then P1. I'm not saying nothing wrong with being a progressive and fight for progressive issues. But at the end of the day, you black, and most of these people from Mount Vernon and Yonkers and certain part of the Bronx are majority black. That's going to put you in the office. And why do you think AOC cape for Latinos more than anything? Because it's mostly Latinos, some Russians, and some blacks, but mostly Latinos that put her in office. So that's why she always doing her Latino thing, and using the Latino language and speaking in Latino. She was at the Nina Turner event and she was going being interviewed, and she pretty much went full Latino. And I see Nina Turner like, I don't know what y'all saying, but y'all better be saying something right. Don't be saying nothing wrong. You know how we are sometimes when somebody starts speaking in a language and you don't understand. It's like, yeah, bro, because I go to a Dominican guy, a friend of mine's, who always does my beard pretty good. Now look, brother, go to black first. Bruh, I'm looking for that black brother that's gonna take care of my beard. But this guy been a long time friend of mine's, and and he does my beard. He put the shade, put the rag on my face, the whole 9 yards, and he gives back into the community. So I can appreciate that brother. That brother then gave to so many after school programs for mostly black kids, and I mean the brother, he take care of his patrons. But when they start talking that Spanish stuff in there, boy, I know a little bit. But when they start talking about it, I'm like, okay, I don't know if that brother could be cussing me or not, but that's how Nina Turner was when AOC was being interviewed in Ohio. Next to Nina Turner. And she went full Spanish. Anyway, besides the point. Both parties are thoroughly dominated by corporate interests. We know this. This is old news. And they only doing what they supposed to do. They don't want Nina Turner there because they don't want another, not black first, but another person that can be more like Bernie Sanders. We don't need another Bernie Sanders night. We don't need a carbon copy of Bernie Sanders, because you can see that she would be a carbon copy of Bernie Sanders. She's going to be more of a carbon copy of Bernie Sanders than Malcolm X, even though she respects Malcolm X and loves Malcolm X, but she's going to be more Bernie Sanders than Malcolm X because that's in her nature. She believes in the policies, the progressive policy. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with believing in progressive policies, but I'm B1 first. I'm black first. My number one priority is to stop my people from being economically starved. And right now, the all people policy will continue to put my people in a position where they're economically starved. People coming in this country, people come to this country and get way ahead. Way ahead. Some cases, no taxes for a certain amount of years you come to this country. When do we get that? Sometimes you get this free education. When do we get that? All kind of stuff. Let me keep going. If Nina Turner doesn't win, progressives will have a good reason to simply abandon the Democratic Party in favor of the New People's Party or some other political party. No, that ain't happening. Nina Turner have already told you herself that she's a Shirley Chisholm Democrat, unbought, and you can't buy me. That was what she said. I'm a Shirley Chisholm Democrat. She had the opportunity to run with Jill Stein and turned it down. So that proved that she may support a third party, but she ain't going to be part of a third party, dude. And you think if they screw her, which they trying their best to screw her, I was saying basically in the video, don't let them screw you. Go down to the black roots and fight for the black people that's going to pretty much get out the polls. You ain't even got, when it come to us, you ain't got to call us and twist us to turn. We going to the polls. Unfortunately, that's our weakness. We go to the polls and vote for the lesser of two evils. We go to the polls and vote blue no matter who. We go to the polls and vote Democrat. We go to the polls and try to do it different and say, let's get off the Democratic plantation and vote Republican, which is like going from one plantation to another freaking plantation, you dummy. Your position of strength is outside looking in, outside making a demand saying that if you want our power, our vote, then we need to do some business. No. If progressives was not upset in 2016 after they were blatantly screwing Bernie Sanders, from Debbie Wasserman Schultz to WikiLeaks unveiling it, and Bernie Sanders still sit there and tell them at the convention, Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy. So I'm going with that bigot Hillary Clinton. She got a hot sauce in the bag. You think that if Bernie Sanders can say, hey, I'm encouraging my movement to support Hillary Clinton out of his actions, at the same time saying with his mouth, I can't tell my people who to vote for. If you think that was not enough to go out there and start a third party or a people's party or another political party, and don't get me wrong, I am for many parties coming. People party, go for it. The Justice Democrats should have been a freaking a party, a separate party, brand new Congress. You know, our revolution should have been a party. Well, our revolution just ended up being a political, progressive base to run for office. People like Bernie Sanders, people who's going to carry that platform to Congress. It's one thing to carry something. It's another thing, you know, I can carry a gun, I can carry a sword, but don't ask me to use it. It might be difficult. And that's what's going on with a lot of these people who ran under our revolution and finally got in office. Where's the revolution? Nina Turner headed up that operation at one time with Bernie's former campaign strategist, Jeff Weaver. So no, bro. Whoever Ad Sucks is, nah. Nina can get screwed 30 times. It ain't gonna piss nobody off to start a third party. It's not. The growth of a third party is going to be based on the platform that third party had. And if third party want to start weaning a lot of the black support from the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, then the third party, People's Party, Green Party, whatever, better have a strong platform built and designed by the black community. Then this person say, IMHO, the reparation issue is a political non-starter. I hear these from these bigots on the left. I hear it from the bigots on the right. This is a bigot talking point. So let me deal with you. When it comes to this issue, it ain't about politics. Could give a damn about politics. This is a sense of urgency. It's non-negotiable and it's non-debatable. Like I said earlier, this federal government became the rich juggernaut, the rich capitalist juggernaut it is right now. They're using money and power to dominate people worldwide. And they got that way off the backs of black slaves. And the reason we're behind in that is because they got filthy, stinking rich and we got none of that money. And then they spit this bull crap, well, pull yourself by the bootstrap. Well, let me tell you something. We never really had any bootstraps to pull up. You stole those. Then when we decided to make our own bootstraps and boots and start to pull something up, you got mad because ours was looking a little better than yours. So you're going to do whatever you can to destroy that and tear it down, to keep us at the bottom. So no, this reparation is a political nonsense. Who gives a damn about a political issue? Political non-starter. We could care less. We're not trying to start this through political means or end it through political means. We're going to do this through a mean of strength, basically telling black people they need to detach from these political parties because they are the ones that's causing more harm than anybody. You keep feeding these two political parties energy. Don't even give it to a third party. You become your own voting block, and anybody who wants to get power from us, because we the one keeping y'all butts in power, you need to come to a negotiation table. This ain't about political awareness or non-starter or a non-ender. This is about business. And black people are going to start waking up and realize how much power they have been wielding out free of charge, like James Clyburn did. He wielded his power and got position, used black people to get him positions for his children. Yet black people got nothing. We know Joe know us, Joe know you're a doggone stupid fool, and he play black people for a fool. Because he see people like you, James Clyburn, being a fool. People like Roland Martin being a fool. You know how to do the wobble. Then you done lost the black vote right there. You know, people sit there and laugh at that stuff. That's one of the most asinine thing any black man can say out of his mouth. This Negro send black people back and they don't even know it. And black people need to get in his face and start smacking them in the face, not literally, but verbally. And we're starting to see that people are pulling up. When you come up with bull crap like that, you're going to get ate up like this from Ad Sucks. You're going to get ate up. Political non-starter. This is a bigot, racist talking point straight out of Breitbart. Straight out of CNN, because you got liberals talking like that. And if you call yourself a liberal, then the hell with you. Well, you're going to need them to put. We don't need nobody. We're going to get this done. We ask for you to help us. We ask for you to join us because God knows we help y'all. Y'all get what y'all want. You depend on black people to help you get Medicare for all. You depend on black people to help you get no-cost education, but the black people can't depend on you to support this? It's non-starter. It's likely that for a majority of the U.S. population, their families didn't even arrive to this country until after slavery ended. It ain't got nothing to do. The point is they came here on the American dream. Everybody wants to come to America because America is a prosperous country. And why was America a prosperous country? Because they had free labor for hundreds of years. They didn't have to. It's like you going to work for somebody and you ain't getting no check. And you don't work there 20, 30, 40 years. You don't think they don't owe you? If you find out they owed you something, you don't think they don't owe you? You don't think you're going to try to pursue? If not, you're dumb. These people came to this country. Even after slavery, as this guy would say. Well, there's a lot of people that came to this country before slavery. And a lot of them gave birth to children that populated this country before slavery. They on purpose opened the doors for other, mostly Caucasian people to come to this country after slavery. They gave the Asians a hard time, wanted to put the brakes on them when they came here. And I'm not caping for nobody but my people at this moment, but I'm just telling you the truth. If you were not white, man, you had a hard time. And they was giving out lands left and right. Dr. Martin Luther King talked about it on that NBC interview that he did with NBC before he got assassinated. They were dishing out land to everybody that was not black. And they did not do anything to help get this country to that point. The country was pretty much already wealthy during that time. It's dumbass, this person, families didn't even arrive in this country until the slavery ended. Let's say a lot of them didn't. The point is, you came here and you got rich off of what this country gave you, which should have been gave to us. They gave it to you. I came to the United States on a boat and I only had $25 now, and they turned that into $25 million. I guess so. Opportunities came your way. The shutout isn't as bad if it was for black people. You look at a black person trying to make it during that time. You got shut down. You couldn't get land. You couldn't get property. They made it difficult for you to, we had to get our own, build our own and start our own and develop our own. And when we start prospering in that, then you want to come to us and do business with us because you got shut out of your own system. And then you look for any excuse to try to burn what we had down and take it. Which happened all across this country. Just Google Red Hook Summer. They'll question why they're expected to pay for the sins of others. Fool, nobody asking nobody alive in this country to come out of their pocket. The federal government already had to have the money. They come out of their behind for everything. They just came out of their behind for infrastructure bill. They coming out of their behind for even the COVID bill that a lot of that money went to the Asian community. They came out of their behind for all these stimulus packages, and they're going to sit there and act like they ain't got no money, trillions of dollars to give black people, which they owe in the tunes of trillions, at least 12, least. Come with this GOP. You sound just like a freaking Republican. We want Medicare for all. How are we gonna pay for it? Then when somebody tell you how to pay for it, you still get a brain fart. Besides, there's so many ways to pay for reparations. So go ahead with that bull crap. Question why they're expected to pay for sins of others. Because you profited off the sins of others. You came to this country because of the dream of a prosperous America, not understanding that dream to you was a nightmare to us because we don't get to profit off it. But you get to come here, no problem. Go to Ellis Island and do whatever they tell you to do at Ellis Island, no problem. And come out and you can get an opportunity to pay no taxes, no problem. Come in, opportunity to get a stipend to do this and a stipend to do this, and we'll help you open up your business over here. You want a restaurant? You want a cart? You want a bowling alley? We got you. And how to identify who qualifies for payment is a huge issue. No, it ain't. See, particularly since necessary records may not exist. All right, let me bring myself up. Dude, you say this is a huge issue. I don't know where your head is right now, but you need to pull it out. I don't know if you got it up your behind, if you got it in the toilet, if you got it in the ground. It's called DNA. You ever watch the movie Roots? The whole thing about Alex Haley tracing his lineage back to slavery. It's more easier now to do it than the way he did it. Heck, they got an app for it. And all you need is to prove that one lineage, one side of your family, had its roots in slavery. You know, majority of Americans, black Americans, probably got a little more color in them. I can tell you this, Barack Obama's not ADOS. But y'all want to tell us how to do something. His daddy from Kenya, his mama from White Kansas. No black ADOS lineage to slave, and we wonder why. No, I'm not the president of all people. I'm the president of all people, not black people. Black people, hush up. Don't want to hear it. I got a video I'm gonna do on him. Oh, man, the video was horrible. Man, it was like, this guy, man, how could I fall? How could I get on the campaign trail for this guy? Had I known he was this way after watching this video, I would have never, and I probably would have went around and kicked down every sign that I could see with that mentality he had in this video. And I was the one out there putting the signs out there for him. And then you got Kamala Harris. Oh, I'm not just going to do nothing for black people. Nah. I guess so. You're not ADOS either. You got umpteen% of black in you. But most black people held her as if she 100% black. I mean, we claim everybody. Tiger Woods, we claim everybody. You got a little bit of black us, you one of us. No. They're one of us based on how they react as one of us. Half Asian. Father was mixed. Black and Scotch-Irish. Some people say black and Indian. Slave ownership from that family lead to Scotland. Slave owner. You own plantations in Jamaica. Sugar plantation. and grew a little tobacco. That's Kamala Harris' side of the family. No linkage to descendants of slaves, U.S. slavery. Anyway, it's easy to prove that you're descendants of slaves, so it's not a big issue, dude. And what was the other thing this guy said? Particularly since necessary records may not exist, the records are already out there, man. It's not just based on records. There's blood out there, too. The bottom line is this country owed black people money. This country owed black people land, property. This country owed black people banks. This country owed black people department stores, movie theaters, the whole 9 yards. Because when we started growing on and developing on, the jealousy got to the point where they could not wait to destroy what we worked so hard for. So not only do you owe us for free labor, you owe us for destroying everything that we built. You owe us for the lie of if you fight in all our wars, you'll never have to go through that hate and hell of white supremacy and bigotry in America. If you fight in our wars, and we allowed y'all to put us in the front lines, and we died in most of these wars, even to this freaking day. Majority of people on the front line are black people. And they sending them to black lands to fight black proxy wars against their own people. If you don't like the idea of reparation, don't come up here with no debate. It's like I said, I'm not debating you. I'll check you, but I'm not debating you. It's non-debatable. It ain't got nothing with politics and political non-starter. The heaven and hell, we're trying to start this politically. We're not trying to start this politically. We know how to wield our power. We know where we keep dropping the ball, and we're preparing a mass movement to no longer drop the ball in this area. For the progressives who want us to help you get the policies that y'all love to say will benefit everybody, especially black people, kill all that noise. Stop saying that. If you want us to get what you want, you got to help us get what we want. Because every time you're pushing for that, you're basically saying, we want you to take our tax dollars and put it toward this area. Which I get it. But the problem is your government, our government, still haven't paid their dues here. And until they do, all the money that they may take to put into any stimulus package, any kind of bill, any kind of infrastructure bill, let's say they do Medicare for all and they get the money for Medicare for all or to stop homelessness and things like that. It's irresponsible for this country to be taking that money that they owe people and giving it here. Now, I'm not saying that these things are much not needed in the community in a whole in America and that you don't need the money, but you're sitting up here shouting for them to take the money they owe us and give it into these just to satisfy you, which you try to tell us we're selfish. No, you're selfish. This is old. And ain't gonna pay. Now, for those people who asking these dumb questions about all this, like these dumb questions, why don't you pick up a freaking book? Why don't you go watch a movie and watch Roots, and you'll see tracing yourself to slaves' lineage is possible. And now in this ultra, tech age, it's easier. So kill that noise. Number one, sound like Joe Biden. Number two, the government always had the money. They got the money. And if they didn't have the money, they know how to come with the money. They making weed legal everywhere. You can't come up with the money from that because you're definitely not going to be business, not going to be paying taxes on it. If they start a weed business, they get no taxes. Heck, you won't even help the people who got incarcerated for selling a herb, not a drug, but a herb. not a chemical, but a herb. The people who had the game down pat, who pushed the game in America and had it down pat to the point where we was candy, brownies, whatever, and now the pharmaceutical industry trying to get involved. The people who started that game to a level but couldn't build it as a business because they kept getting locked up. Now you're able to get. Now it's not the law no more. You can smoke weed, you can eat weed, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do, live how you want. You can put a couple pots in your house, plants in your house. Now that's out there. You're not doing whatever you can to pay for the hell that you went through, because when we were able to profit off that and make a business, you locked us up, took all our money. But now it's legal. You get the profit off of it and we don't. So there's so many trifling ways this government has stolen for black people, used and abused black people. But now black people starting to stand up and strategize on getting in a position of power to start demanding or taking back what was stolen. And a lot of you people are going to get offended. Because we know, what about what we need over here? Hey, we need it too, but we lock solid. A repair must be done first before you start taking investments and giving into other areas. So I got myself up here late. I don't come up here on a Saturday night, man. I'm supposed to be asleep. Don't come up here with these Republican, Breitbart, Fox News, CNN-like, BNC-like talking points about reparations. This dude right here, whoever did this, whatever his name was, dude or woman or whatever, you went as far as using racist talking points. Joe Biden used the same racist talking points. Yeah, your boy. Why should I have to pay for the sins of my ancestors? Because it's the sins of your ancestors. Why do I got to pay for the sins of your ancestors? I'm paying. My nieces and nephew, my son, rest his soul, if he was still alive, he would be paying for the sins of your ancestors. That's why you don't want us talking about critical race theory, because we're reminding you of the sins of your ancestors. And there's no way of hiding it now, because it's so easy to access it now. Everybody know how horrible the legacy of white supremacy in America have been toward black people, and how you rob, cheat, steal, brutalize, murder, rape, maul, kill, dominate, all to try to maintain that power. Got filthy, stinking rich, and watch us continue to try to climb our way up the top, and you still trying to put your boot on us. And talking points like this is a man who's trying to put his boot on a movement, on something that will be done, must be done, and nobody's going to stop it. Black people will get on the same page. They will get on code. They will start detaching themselves from political parties. They will sit in the position of a voting bloc. And if you want to obtain power, you're going to have to come to us. Now, we all know Republicans want the black votes, and we all know that the Democrats, they have the black vote, but they do whatever they can to maintain. If they have to do this less of the bull evil, less of the evil bull and this he's evil, I'm good bull crap, and play the emotions of the black people keep falling for that crap. It's a new day. Black people waking up for that crap. We see what you're doing, and we will not be a part of it. So, for you Republicans, for you Democrats, for you left, for your centrists, and for you progressives, you're not going to use us to get what you want until you get on our page to help us get what we want. Now, you ain't got to get on it, but the quicker you want to get what you want, you better be quicker to push where we get. See, this is not, remember the guy say political non-starter. This is why this is not a political non-starter. We're not talking politics. We're not trying to start something politically. We're not trying to start a political movement, a political revolution. We're not doing that when it comes to this. This country owes us. And we're demanding it. If they don't give it to us, they can forget about us. But that's dangerous, Rob. You're going to allow the Republican. That's what you need to worry about. You want us to worry about it. You want us to be scared about it. But when in actuality, you're worried, you're scared, you're freaking out your mind. But they're going to put y'all back in the slave. Stop with that bull crap. They're going to put y'all back in chains. Stop with that bull crap. That's what Joe Biden said. If you don't vote for us, they're going to put y'all back in chains. Every election come, oh, Obama is the Antichrist. Oh, Joe Biden's the Antichrist. Oh, Trump is the next Hitler. Man, stop with this bull crap. Look, y'all can talk all that crap you want to. Black people gonna stop falling for that bull crap, and black people gonna say, I don't care if you're Hitler. I don't care if you're the Antichrist. Y'all both gonna bend the knee if you want our support. Y'all both gonna come to the table. And he who wills lean to our will, then you're gonna get our vote. You'll get a Republican. If they give us what we want, we'll give them what they want. If the Democrats give us what we want, we'll give it. If People's Party, whoever, it don't matter. He who has the strength to actually get these things done, if you want our support, you're gonna have to come to the negotiation table. So it's not a political non-starter. This ain't got nothing to do with politics. This is business. This is hard business. Sick time, people, letting you know. Black folks are saying enough with using us to get you what you want. We did that before for years. And we help you get what you want. But yet at the same time, we don't get what we want. And it's to our own detriment because we're so easy, we're so loving, we're so free will and so giving. And we're going to stop that. We're still that. But just like I got this beautiful friend of mine, she's so easy loving, so free will and so loving. And I have to tell you, you don't stop that. The reason people take advantage of you is because you keep letting them take advantage of you. You need to get in a position to strength and realize, hey, you taking advantage of me. Nah. From this day forward, that stops. You want something? Let's negotiate. So, you Breitbart, left, right, up, down, it don't matter. Don't come here with this bull crap. Because I will block you. I ain't got time for this bullcrap because it's the same old dumb argument and same old dumb right-wing bigoted excuse over and over and over again. You got nothing else. And these questions that you ask, these dumb questions, they said there's no such thing as dumb questions. It's a dumb question when it comes to this. All you have to do is pick up a book. Go pick up Powernomics. You want to know how this stuff going to be done? Pick up Powernomics. Your question about, it's going to come out of my pocket. If your family benefit in any time, if your family benefit, then it is what it is. Now, I can't help it. Most people who've been in this country for a long time, a lot of them wasn't poor all their life. A lot of them had land and they had crops and they made money and all that. And as they got older, they squandered your inheritance. And you always talk about, well, black people, when they get we can't get them reparation because we don't know what it is. None of your doggone business what we do with our money. That's our money. Mind your dang on business. If I want to go on OnlyFans and get me like 5 girls and put them in a room, that's up to me. It's my money. Now, I'm not dumb enough to do that because I got businesses to build with that money, and I got ventures I want to invest in with that money. Just like you believe your people do. Yet in the past, your people had money, made the money off of us, and a lot of them went out and squandered, got drunk, they gambled it, they lost it on dumb businesses that they thought they'll prosper. They spend it on big cars and mink coats and stuff like that, and then the stock market crashed and they jumping out the freaking window, killing themselves. And you got the nerve to talk about us? What we gonna do with our money? Mind your doggone business. I had to get that in my chest. Don't come here with that bull crap, because I'm not gonna entertain it this time. But this is a message to anybody who come up with here. I see the bull crap up here. It's going to get deleted and you're going to be blocked. So trolls who want to troll black people who standing up, fighting for black rights and fighting for the needs of the black community, even if it does mean stepping away from what you care about most, it is what it is. Like I said before, at the end of the day, I'm black. As a black man, I can become progressive. As a black man, I can become conservative. As a black man, I can become ultra Christian. As a black man, I can become ultra atheist or ultra humanist. I can become as a black man, but I can't change this. At the end of the day, I'm black. And I can go in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time and I'll be reminded that I'm black. That's why I have to take care of black issues first and everything else second. I don't ignore your plight. I understand your plight. I understand the plight about, the Medicare for all marches and stuff like that and the no-cost education. And I see the homeless people on the streets of New York. Hurt me to my heart to see that sometimes. It cries. Every now and then I throw them a little money here and there, and I mean, it hurts me to see that. I'm not inhuman. But I realize the lion's share of my energy has to be going to the upliftment of my people to equal status, not more. And the problem is you fear that if we get the equal status, we'll surpass you. Hey, you guys been in the lead for so long, so let us lead sometimes. It was a problem. You think it's going to be a problem? And if it is, why should it be? You're scared that if we get equal status, that we might take our money and do what we do so well when we do have money, maximize it, flip it, double it, triple it. Are you afraid of that? Well, you're going to have to get over your fears because we want reparations and we want it now. And we want it to the tunes of trillions, at least 12 to 20 trillion. That's what's owed. That's not what we asking for. That's what you owe us. This government owes us that. And to talk about taking money and investing in anything else outside of that, it means you don't care about black issues. You don't care about the blacks getting their just due reward, black people getting their just due rewards. You don't care. No, I care about black people and I got a lot of black friends, but you making talking points like this. That's your mouth. You don't care about black people. If you knew the truth, we have to do this. If not, we get crushed. And I'd be doggone. I'm just going to sit here and let myself get crushed. And I'd be doggone. I'm going to let somebody bark for money for this when they owe us this. And if we don't get this, we can be crushed. I care about climate change and all that stuff, but not more than this. This will kill us quicker than climate change. I get it. Some of you want us to just forgive and let it go. Are you freaking crazy? Walmart truck run over your mama in ICU, and let's say she makes it, but she got internal damages. She can't do what she want to do. You don't think your mama don't deserve reparations or restitution? And you don't think you should go for more than enough that's going to satisfy her the rest of her life? No, I'm just going to sue Walmart for $10, $10,000. You doggone fool, man. You better get what all you can from Walmart. Again, I'm done. Don't come up here with that bull crap, okay? Number one. Number two, I care about progressive issues. I care about this more. And I always say, if you're yelling all these progressive issues, if you're out there screaming that we need, and I agree, we do need. But if you're saying we need this and let's vote on this, and then you're going to ask for money to pay for it, and you can't even tell them you need to pay your bills first, pay what you owe first, then pay over here. If that's your mentality of taking the money that's owed to the black community and give it over here to progressive issues, that's wrong. That's sad and that's pathetic. You can hate me, you can unsubscribe me, but I'm just gonna tell you like it is. And then you wonder why black people are not running with you and signing with you in the numbers that you should have. You want to know how to get black people to participate in your movement? Put their issues as a top priority. Because if not, you're not going to get them. We understand your fights, but we got a whole separate fight over here. It's called survival. Financial survival. Seeing all this money going over here and y'all owe us money. I don't know what movie it was. I think it was Tupac. Tupac was describing about Donald Trump and the needs in the black community. And he was saying, man, if we see y'all sitting up here, y'all eating good, y'all drinking good, and we out here starving, and we the one help you eat and drink good, and we knocking on those, and we're starving, we ain't got no food, and we're knocking on the door and say, please, we hungry, let us have some. And you ignore us. Please, we hungry, have some. Please, and you keep ignoring us, or the money we help you make, you spend it up on the next boat. You're going to spend it over here. You're going to spend it over there, because to us, paying that money to pay for progressive issues is that. We ain't got no problem with you buying another boat, bro, but you got to pay us what you owe us first. Then go get your boat. Other than that, we ain't knocking on the door saying, please, we hungry, can we come in and get something to eat? No, we picking the door, waving the 4-4, get on the ground. We taking. You put us in a position where we have no choice, or we die. We'll rather go to jail than sit here and die of starvation and dehydration. This government got so much money, it's ridiculous. We're the wealthiest freaking country in the world. And you're going to tell us you can't pay us what you owe us, but you're going to put all this money and all this other stuff. And then we got progressives over here talking about, we need this, we need that. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm with you. But you do realize that got to be paid for. And it should be paid for. After you pay what you owe toward black people. I'm Robert Brown. I'm Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show on the go. I'll let you later. Let me see who's up here. Marquell. Thank you, brother. He said, you black. Yeah, brother, I'm black. Hey, Karen, always up here. Donna Pangbone. Only minority I think that can stack out with the system trouble with African Americans. Native Americans, blacks were considered 3/5 a person. Native were considered savages. They considered us savages. They actually think they civilized us, when it's actually, you study the history of world history, not the one they tell you here in America. Black people civilized a lot of white people. And you do your studies on the Moors, the whole 9 yards, you'll find out all that. The black people was instrumental. Who built the first hospitals in America? In the world? Who built the first water reservoir? I can go on and on with that. And everybody else came to us to teach them how to do it. And we were free enough to do it. Hello, Angeline. What's up, Information Man? How you doing, brother? Appreciate Information Man, this show. Gotta go check out this show. Russian bots. And let's have perspective that demands is barely equal to the nation's black budget for just the past couple of decades. Absolutely right. Hey, Donna, I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, yes, they're using you and fooling you, and that won't change. Wake up. Information man, my man said we actually civilized them when the Moors of the North African controlled most of Europe for decades. That's why he's the information man. He knows about this stuff more than most. And he's right. We civilized majority of the world. We did. But they want you to think that we live all in shacks. And we are get out of here with that stuff. You must ain't been to West Virginia. Joe Manchin town. You don't think they don't live in shacks? Out here with that mess. All right, this is Bobby Brown with the Bobby Brown Show on the go. I'm glad I did do this because I do have something to do tomorrow. And I got a big event I got to attend that morning, so I won't be able to do the Sunday night show. But I always remember this: go out in the world and make a mark on this world that cannot be erased. Yes, you go out and make a mark on this world that cannot be erased. And good morning, and good night.